tsunami. Very windy, but mild. Sky is going to get clear. I'm looking every moment here. We're getting blown off the beach. A little guy here. Oh, look at the...
So, are we filming?
We're into the relationship talk. You were just talking about Leslie and your feelings toward Leslie, who is Len's daughter. Tell me about what you think about Leslie.
Well, this is a little strange, but okay, I'm just going to say this is Sunday, June 25th.
We don't care.
Yeah. And you have to stay a little close for the audio, honey. And we're at the Fine Arts Museum in Boston.
We don't care about that either.
You don't care. So I was just talking about Leslie Saxon and the Saxons, and the occasion is really because Leslie's mom, Pat, recently passed away, very recently, and she was a lovely person. So I was just talking about my relationship with the Saxons, and it's really too boring for this whole...
No, it's really not.
No.
So how did you and Len meet again?
We met at a party, and I went out with him. I took a date, and I thought, why am I going to go out with this guy? He's older, he's short, blah, blah, blah. He turned out to be incredibly interesting. But he introduced me to his kids, who are incredibly interesting, and happily I've managed to, after all of these years, stay somewhat part of their families.
And
so that's it.
Who are the kids?
Mark, Leslie, Rebecca, the Starbright Wonder, David, and Ed. No. This is not the place, honey. Stop. Hello. I'm not talking anymore. Turn it off.
She's getting really snippy now. Here we are on Monday, June 26th. We're at Manchester by the Sea. This is by the sea. We're on the Singing Beach. It's called Singing Beach because when you walk on the sand, it squeaks and makes sort of a squeaking noise, and someone thought that was singing. My favorite story here is coming down over Thanksgiving on a beautiful, warm Thanksgiving day, and a couple had taken their 2 corgis with them, and they came right down here to the water. One was a big male, the other was a smaller female, and the couple started to walk up the beach with the female. The male sat down right here, would not move. And they kept saying, come on, come on. And he knew better because he knew that they had to walk to the end of the beach and that they were going to walk back again. So why bother to walk all the distance when he could just sit there, which is what he did. So the beach ends there, and there it's a nice sort of crescent. I used to swim from the rocks over there, across to the rocks over there. It was a lovely swim. We're in Rockport right now, and we're right next to the restaurant where Susan and I ate the day we got engaged, back in 2010. Beautiful view of the Rockport Harbor. The water is extremely clear. It looks like you can see the bottom from 10 feet deep, maybe, something like that. You can almost see the fish lobsters swimming down there.
A little bit about the town.
It's Rockport. Rockport is one of the most charming of the seaport towns in Massachusetts, north of Gloucester. And we're on our way to Ipswich and to Woodman's, the home of the fried clam.
So this is the rest of Rockport. It's not just the seascape, it's all these shops, and some of them are pretty surprising. Some lovely Tuscan earthenware that I'm not letting him buy. Well, I cannot not let him buy something. I'm just advising against it.
So today is Sunday, June 25th. We're in Boston. We're on our way to the Gardner Museum, walking through the Fenway, the Fens, and right through the middle of the Fens Victory Garden that was established in 1942. Here there are 500 different garden plots, and many of them are huge. I mean, this one behind us here looks like it's about 20 yards by 20 yards, 30 yards maybe. Some of them are like over here behind us.
Well, I gotta stay close to you.
Oops. The one behind us is a good, look at the size of this. This is, I'm gonna guess 60 feet by 15 feet, compared with our little puny garden plots. Some of them are vegetable, some of them are gardens, some of them are garden vegetable. There's a woman we talked to who has her own fish pond inside. Some of them have benches and tables where they can picnic. And the whole thing is maintained by the city. You can see the daylilies here along the side.
So $40 for a season times 500. They have a little bit of a fund to pay someone.
And here behind us are the fens, the reeds that grow up along the muddy river, the point of demarcation where the gardens end and the fens begin. It used to be all marsh. This whole area was underwater until they dredged the muddy river and drained the marsh back in the 19th century and created what is now known as Back Bay, which used to all be underwater. Kenmore Square was pretty much underwater. So we're on our way. Very windy, but mild. Sky is trying to get clear. I'm looking every moment here. We're getting blown off the beach. A little guy here. Well, here we are at the place where it all began. This is Clam City. This is the place that fried clam was invented, so it is said, Woodman's in Essex, Massachusetts, which is about probably 6 miles south of and west of Gloucester, and known obviously for its fried clams and for being the only restaurant in America in which nothing green is ever served. And we're just about to head in, and Susan will show you the lobster bins as we walk.
There you can
size you want, and they just weigh it up and you pay for it.
pick your own lobster. I guess that's where they're swimming before they dive.
So Susan and I had a crazy idea this afternoon that we needed a summer home in New England. So we talked to an agent, we found this property and love at first sight, and we decided to put down $20,000-$30,000 to buy this summer home. 59 rooms and custom bathrooms installed by the Crane Company. This is the backyard, part of the backyard. The other part we'll see in a minute. 2 wild turkeys just crossed the way. These are our...
This is a summer estate, because God knows
houses.
it's not a year-round house.
This must have been a pool at one point, because these both look like pool houses, sort of.
Mm. Well, and you might want to be playing chess while you're lazying the days away. Pretty unfathomable wealth.
One. Okay, you're on.
So, good morning. It's Tuesday, June 27th or something, 2017. And today we are continuing our magical mystery tour. We are in Newbury, Massachusetts, and we are now currently on Plum Island, which is famous for the beaches. Frankly, as you drive into town at Plum Island, looks more like a penal colony than a beach colony, but yeah, we're just kind of working our way around.
Way in the distance there is where we were yesterday, which is the very end of the lawn at Castle Hill. And I'm doing a zoom. Oh, there we go. And you can see that it just sort of ends right there. And as I pan over, Crane Beach. Heading down toward Rockport, Wingersheek Beach, which is way in the distance. Heading back.
So, last night,
Keep going.
well, come to me.
Whoops. Trying to unzoom, darling, and I'm not doing a very good job of it.
You took the finger off the menu.
Okay.
So, we stayed last night at the Bates Motel. Not exactly, but took charming a little bit to the, more charming than I would have liked it. But it was fine. Nice little breakfast this morning.
It was the outdoor toilet that did it.
Something like that. We're friends, so it worked out okay. And this afternoon we're on our way to
Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Kennebunkport, and eventually Freeport for another dose of fried clams, and then up to Brunswick, where we'll be spending the night.
Great.
We're at Plum Island. We're at the northern edge of Plum Island, and as you can see from the sign, everything that is south of here all the way to the tip is closed because of its breeding season for least terns and piping plovers. So about 6 miles of beach that you can see in this direction, which after August 15th is open to the public for beach access. And
We give them till August 15th to quit breeding?
Yep, until then. They got to get it out of the way, so they're under pressure. They're going to use the Turkish method. And to the left of us, north of here, this is all open for public. And for fishermen. There's some fishermen down there right now.
Okay, these gnats are...
Well, hello there. It's now Wednesday. We're riding up the coast from Brunswick, where we spent the night at the Brunswick Hotel and Tavern. And we're in the wonderful little town of Port Clyde, Maine. It's one of the many, many peninsulas that run south off of the coast of Maine. I was here many, many years ago at a place called Mosquito Island. At that point, it was owned by a biology teacher, the son I worked with. We drove up for a weekend, spent a wonderful weekend. So it's when we're at the tip, and across the way is yet another of the many peninsulas that jut down from inland and form these wonderful fjords. I guess you could almost call them fjords. They're bays, they're inlets. Lobster pots all over the place, fishing boats. Below us is a sailboat, and it looks like maybe a bunch of people who either are students, maybe here, or part of a camp of some kind. Looks like they're getting ready to sail right down below us. Susan will pan over to the Port Clyde General Store behind us.
Got it.
Got that already? Here we are at the top of Mount Everest. I'm sorry, at the top of Sargent Mountain, 1,300 feet above sea level. Mafam and her Sherpa are approaching, having done yeoman's work for 2.7 miles or so that it took us to get up from the bottom to here. She looks fresh as a daisy.
So when do we start the uphill climb?
That's it for now. So here we are at the top of Sargent Mountain, overlooking, I think that's probably, we're going south toward Northeast Harbor. I'll pan around to the west, heading inland. The French family right here, having their lunch here at the top of the mountain. Distance, there's water all around. Panning over toward Bar Harbor, toward Frenchman Bay, which you can't really see too much of. This is where we came. You can see in the distance the ocean, looking south. So it's now Friday, and we're at the top of Cadillac Mountain in Acadia National Park, our second day here. You can't islands here. There are probably 50 islands or so that you can see from the top, and you can make out that there are low-hanging clouds that are shrouding most of those islands. Yesterday we, as we recorded, climbed Sargent Mountain, 1,373 feet, which is only 160 feet shorter than where we are right now at Cadillac, which is the highest point along the coast of the eastern United States. Not the highest mountain in the east, but the highest coastal mountain in eastern United States. So after Sargent Mountain, we were pretty exhausted, and we debated whether to eat and go back and shower and go out, which is what we did. We went to a wonderful restaurant called Cafe This Way, and had one of the better meals we've had on our trip. And got back to the room at our civil hour around 8 o'clock or so. So we're on our way now to the ferry over in Southwest Harbor, where we're going to go to Cranberry Island. There are two cranberries, great and small, and we're going to end up, we think, on Little Cranberry Island, which is where Ann Morse's father built a house. We may be able to find his house if we're lucky.
So we're heading out of the town of Manset on the ferry. On the way, we're not going to stop at Grand Cranberry Island, but we are going to stop at Isleford, otherwise known as Little Cranberry, where good friend Annie Morse, brother, may be living in the family home. Hi, it's Friday, June 30th, 2017, and we are in Islesford, Maine. We took this little sojourn here because we want to visit the home of my good friend Annie Morse, whose family lived here. It's a lovely, charming town, population of 55. We had a lovely lunch, but really I just want to take a minute to talk about historical context. Donald Trump has been president for about 100 days.
162.
106, really? Okay. For most of us, we consider it a catastrophe. Our world standing by the polls is the lowest point ever, like 32% of countries still think we are leaders. He's an embarrassment. He thinks getting into healthcare was like, who knew it was so complicated? At this moment, the Senate is weighing the revised healthcare bill that the House pushed down. That is showing about 30 million people would be thrown out of health care. They can't seem to get it together because it's such a catastrophe. But who knows, it ain't over yet. They may find a way, but not talking to any Democrats, that's for sure. He's embarrassing ourselves with every country he talks to, and his personal behavior is beyond humiliating. So that's where we are now, and every day we think it can't be more complicated and a little bit more tawdry, but it just does seem to be. He had a fundraiser the other day, 150 days into his first administration, at the Trump Hotel in Washington, D.C. No conflict there. So he seems to like the job, although even if he doesn't keep it, he does keep the money that he raises for his reelection. So, but we're very optimistic. Not really. Having a great visit. That's it.
I will pan just a bit, and there is, if you will see here, I will try to zoom in on the deer that is on the point, feeding. There he is. Whoa. Whoa, I think I over-zoomed.
Okay.
Where is he? Where did our deer? Up there. There is the deer here somewhere.
It's a deer. Boring.
Deer aren't
boring. Just taking a little stroll in the forest, really, down the road from Annie's brother, Tim and Sue's house. Very nice visit. There's that guy again. Saying goodbye to Islesford. It's a lovely visit. really getting a taste of small island living mixed in with the great cities that we're visiting. It's wonderful to have time. Later. And here comes our ride.
The HMS Sutton. Hello there. It's now Sunday, 4th of July weekend, and we're at Tanglewood. It's about 4:05 on a really glorious afternoon. A little bit muggy, some stormy looking clouds, but it's mostly sunny. We've just set up a spread, compliments of Guido's and Roger and Pam, who provided the chairs and table. And we're about to, as you can see, partake in a nice feast here.
With an amusing viognier.
You can hear it laughing all the way over. We're listening to Natalie Merchant rehearsing for tonight's concert. We'll be inside the shed, which is...
You're not going to get the sound. Good morning. It's Monday, July 3rd, 2018, 17, and we are here in the beautiful Cornell Inn in Lenox. You have to take a look at our breakfast area here. The rooms are kind of modest, but they really do breakfast right here. Fabulous scene. Took a lovely walk yesterday with cousin Pam and Roger in Stephen Glen Park. Then last night we went to see Natalie Main at Tanglewood.
Merchant.
Natalie Merchant, her too, and had a fantastic picnic from Guido's. Today we're going to have lunch with cousins Diane and Peter and have a much too expensive dinner at Wheatley. So catch you later.
Well, here we are at the Berkshire Botanical Gardens on Monday morning. We're just about to head off for lunch with Peter and Diane. Peter and Diane?
Yes.
We just got a tour of the Botanical Gardens, which are rich with both local, native, and non-native plants. We're at the Hosta Garden right now, which is phenomenal. It's got maybe 20 different types of hostas, if that. The garden pond is right over to our right, where there are bullfrogs and plants that are pond plants. And we're heading right back right now.
Copper beech tree. Whew. There are shade gardens, sun gardens, obviously herb gardens, and huge number of educational programs.